I've been running Facebook ads for the last 12 years and have spent millions of dollars in ad spend in every niche you could imagine, but especially real estate, online coaches, agency marketing, home service businesses, specifically with all of our own agencies, which we run a multi-seven-figure agency in the LA area for over 15 years now, and also all of our students, which we have over 500 successful agencies that we've helped start, launch, and create digital marketing agencies. Why do I tell you all this? Is to tell you I know how to run Facebook ads and I know how to do it right. To prove that, I just did a training inside of our group the other day on how to simplify everything back, how to create a very easy to set up and launch system so that you can test and make successful Facebook ads for any business this year, right now in 2024. A lot of people like to overcomplicate this. This is taking all of that, simplifying it to something that you can take, have an offer, go launch today, learn what a winning audience, winning offer, winning creative is for them, and then scale them up to where they're making lots of money. So without further ado, this is how to actually create successful Facebook ads for any business in 2024. It's a very specific, very simple testing strategy that you can do for any type of company right now. Let's dive in and get shit done. So everybody, today we're going to be talking about something that I have spent a lot of time, in fact, the last 12 years of my agency career, quote unquote, doing, which is advertising, specifically on Facebook. Lots of us either do it or need to be doing it and need to understand it just slightly better. And so what we're going to be specifically talking about today is how you can actually do successful ad campaigns for smaller companies of any type of niche successfully, even if they don't have an offer yet, even if they never run ads before. How can you actually set this up to go and actually work? Okay, so this is a very specific strategy that we use inside the GSD all the time, that we also use in our agency all the time for people who don't yet have winning campaigns, who don't yet have that momentum on the ad side to make that all kind of work. So how are you going to be able to create Facebook ads for everybody and anybody, right? Because what do they need first? The first thing that everybody needs, and the first thing you're going to run into with a lot of these different types of companies, is an offer. Okay. And what they're going to run into is you're going to have them thinking whatever they have. And you've ever heard or talked to a client like this, who, when you go to ask them what their offer is, they just say, well, we have the best quality products at the best possible price in the whole damn town, right? It's the equivalent of going to a realtor and them telling you they've been in the 1%er club forever, or they're the top realtor, or they've been around for 15 years. And you have to start to tell them, and this is the thing, is that most people, especially local small businesses, do not understand advertising. They're going to say things like, I don't want to sound spammy. I don't want to sound markety. I just want to, be my best self and put that in front of people. And the thing about what we're doing as an agency is that your job sometimes is to help them understand the mindset of what advertising is, especially on Facebook. These are strangers that have no idea who they are. And they don't care that they're in the top 1% as a realtor, because that's what all of them say. They don't care that you have the best quality floors or whatever the hell that they have when they're going to install. They want the best price. They want the best system. They want it to be fast, cheap, and easy. That's what they want. And we have to have an offer that allows them to get their foot in the door, as Rahul likes to say, so that the rest of the process, that's when the quality control, the sales process, and the rest of it happens. But to get them on Facebook to stop looking at the pictures of their nieces and nephews and dogs and rabbits and whatever else they're looking at on there, and instead have a conversation with your company, we need to have an offer. We need to have something that actually works. And that's where it starts out with the scary offer. So step one to any successful ad campaign is we need a scary offer. The scary offer works very well for everything. It's the core thing that I want you guys to always be having, but it's especially essential for advertising, right? And what the formula is for scary offer: big end result, customer language, specificity, risk reversal, reverse pain statement. We want to have as many of those elements as we can specifically inside of these offers. Now, let's go and take a random student in the GSD as an example. Or actually, let's not do a random one, because I just helped her with some ads for her specific client today. So we go to this one here and we say, cool, well, here's some ads that actually are written for the contractors, right? So we'll take these and specifically walk through how did we get to this point? Because the first thing we need is a strategy call, which I do with every single GSD student, to pick niche, and then create scary offer. So how did we do that, right? We have big end result, customer language, specificity, risk reversal, reverse pain statement. We want to have as many of these elements as we can. And so the first thing you do with the client is figure out what their customer language is. In this case, we're talking to home service companies or contractors. And so they're looking for not leads and traffic and this, they're looking for inbound estimates, quote requests. They're looking for jobs, projects, some pain points that you want to list out for them. They're looking at, they don't have enough time to answer all of the inbound calls because they're on the job. They don't want to hire a sales team. They don't have time to call the leads. These are all pain points, right? Because at the end of the day, the core concept here, without all the fancy ins and outs, is really how can I explain to this person in language they understand that I'm going to help them achieve the thing they want most. I'm going to help them get the thing they want to get the most while avoiding having to do the thing they want to do the least, right? Thing they want most without the pain. And that's what we need to try and get across. And so, okay, we have the pain points, we have customer language. And normally what we do is we build out a few variations. For this one specifically, what do? We help home service businesses recover $10,000 plus in lost revenue every 30 days without hiring a salesperson or spending a dime on ads. So without pain point and pain point, we help them do very specific thing in very specific timeline. And who is it that we help? Home service businesses. So, okay, we have a scary offer built out now. Cool. This is what we have. We need a niche too to go with it. So we call it home service businesses. Now that we have the offer, we can create a strategy. And the strategy that we use always, then now that we have this, we want to have a strategy, right? So we have the offer. Now we do the strategy. So what do we do specifically here? Rapid fire testing methodology is what we use for our strategy. Now this strategy is best suited for new clients, new accounts, new offers, right? And this is what most of you guys are going to be running into. So when I talk about how can you run ads for any business in any niche, you need a testing methodology, because what you're going to run into most times is that these companies have never run ads before. They might have some local business, some presence. They might have some inbound Google stuff, some organic buildup, word of mouth. All of this kind of stuff might be happening. And they might assume that that's going to work online. That's where you run into the billboard type people, the people who don't want to make an offer, don't want to sound markety, all of that. And we have to use our expertise to explain the why behind it. But then we also need to be able to test, because they're not going to have any data in their ad account. They're not going to have any proven strategies that work. So what we want to have is a methodology that does frictionless, fast, imperfect action that allows us to test audiences and personas, that tests hooks and lead magnets, that tests creative. We want to isolate each one of these individual pieces by themselves and test them so that we know what's actually moving the needle, so that we know how to actually make that work. So the rapid fire testing methodology specifically is best for those types of things. The main method here, the main benefit is that we get to isolate and test all of these different things. And it's very, very simple. We're using a frictionless starting point as a campaign. What that means, if we go over here, is that we are actually using lead forms. So testing strategy is going to be the rapid fire testing methodology. And the concept here is isolate and test individual variables to find winning assets. We want to do this in a frictionless, fast way. And how we do that by starting with lead forms, because it does not take forms, because they don't require investment in time for videos or money time for funnels. None of that is needed. And so what we end up doing here is we take these three things. Cool. Now we've got these three rounds. Okay. And what we want to start here is leveraging this. And we're building this worksheet as always, guys. So I'll drop this in the Diamond Club's support chat right after this is done, so you guys can have access to this document before anybody has to ask. And so what we're doing here is we're isolating audiences first. What does that mean? We have a control ad. So one ad that basically states the offer specifically. And I'm going to help you guys learn how to use ChatGPT specifically on how to write those control ads in just a second. So we take a control ad, the exact same simple ad, and we break it out into 3 or 4 audiences. Okay. And those 3 or 4 audiences are then going to show us differences. We go and we find what we call differentiation in our ideal cost per lead. So normally with these types of things, you're wanting somewhere between $10 and probably $30 cost per lead, unless you're working with other niches that require a little bit more than that. And so what happens is we want to find something that's different there. So if we have all 4 audiences are spending, they're all getting leads. If one has 50 and the other one has 10 and we fed out enough, we're making that decision. But if none of them are getting leads, or if only one of them is getting leads and the other ones have fed out to 2 or 3 times our ideal cost per conversion, we can start to shut those out. So what we're looking for is outliers. We're looking to take 3 or 4 audiences and whittle it down to 2, really. Then we go into round 2, which is testing out hooks and lead magnets. What are hooks and lead magnets? So if I go over here and I just scroll until I find an ad, a hook is going to be the top line of text and the headline here. So their hook here is automate from lead to sale. Easy automation sends every marketing lead, right? So what you're trying to do is you're trying to take, if your control ad is just this first line of text, you might isolate it into saying, okay, I'm going to do one hook where it talks about no salespeople needed. I'm going to do another hook talking about, dude, you don't need to spend any money on ads. I'm going to do another hook where we're moving this around for this number, another one with the timeline. I can start to see what parts of this offer, what parts of this hook are really making this work. And then finally, in round 3, you're testing out creative. This is where we get into, okay, I know what audience and hooks work best. Maybe I shoot a vertical video. Maybe I get a fancier graphic. But we have a testing strategy where now we're building on this to be able to see how it works. And then finally, once that's done, you can move into phase 3, which is our quality control. Okay. So you have options here to, now take the winning assets from RFT and decide on strategy based on results. So you have options being stuff like bad quality leads so far. The answer is usually going to be a VSL funnel, right? Why? Because it educates the people a little bit. You can force them to do a little bit more action, allows you to do that. Or you'd go and you say, cool, not enough sales, memberships, that kind of stuff coming through, or don't have salespeople in place to work the leads. Then you can get into self-liquidating offers. Self-liquidating offer funnels, right? Or everything so far is ROI positive and looking good. Then you just scale. You don't have to move off of lead forms. We have plenty of campaigns, plenty of people that we don't even move into anything else because the RFT got us to a point where we're getting good cost leads, we're building a lot of that list up, and we're making money. And so all we actually want to do at that point is scale, which is this. Now you just take this into scaling. You've got 2 strategies in scaling you can do. Vertical. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because it's a little bit too much, but vertical scaling is simply increasing the campaign budget slowly, usually by 20 to 25% every 3 days, while adding broader additional assets to support at scale and monitoring effect on your CPAs. Basically meaning you're spending more money, so you need to give Facebook more and more stuff to be able to keep up with that, to be able to keep using this stuff. And you want to be making sure that your cost per lead, your cost per call, your cost per acquisition is not shooting through the roof. As you scale, no matter what, it's going to happen. But you want to make sure that it's not going completely out of whack. Horizontal scaling is by you're usually using ad set budgets for this, and then you're duplicating winning audiences, ad sets, thereby scaling the ad budget at the same time. And again, monitoring the stuff as you go. So overall strategy so far, right? Does the why and the how and the everything that we're doing on this make sense? So now we say, okay, cool. Well, I get the idea. We just need some starting points. How do I create? I know how to make an offer for any type of business. How do I create a control ad now? So in the GSD, we have an easy way to make a simple control ad using nothing but ChatGPT. Literally, we have this prompt here. So you can kind of see, I've been using it right here to make ads recently. It's literally saying, write me a Facebook ad targeting, and you put your niche in, using this offer, and we give them the scary offer, and this headline as the first line of the ads. Also, you give them the headline, or you just take it and make it from the thing. And then you give it a style. So for us, grab this here. Where is it? This thing here. And we'll do the same thing. So we take this prompt, put it here. We'll go back to our sheet. We made a scary offer for this already. And this is going to be home service businesses. So let's go here. Say Actually, now that I'm looking at we literally did this for this student. So it's already contractors. We help home services do this thing. Cool. So you can already see, I'll just do it again just so you can see. And then we have the first headline of the ad being contractors and then the scary offer. So we've changed it to it. And then for this one, we give people inside the inner circle two things: a free training version or a work with us, click to apply to actually work with us type offer. If you don't want to use this type of stuff, all you have to do is go on Facebook, look up people that you know that run successful ads and grab their style that way if you want. Click enter, and then ChatGPT will write one up for you, right? It will actually create the ad for you right here. And then you can kind of move things around on that. So you say, okay, cool. Thank you, ChatGPT. Grab the ad copy, and now we have our control ad. Then all we have to do is get starting audiences, right? Because I said that's for round one. So we say starting audiences. So using ChatGPT, we're able to do that. Then over here, starting audiences are actually pretty simple. Just got to go to here. Whoa. So again, inside the GSD, what we teach for starting audiences, if I can ever find my way there, for rapid fire testing, it just breaks it into a simple set of categories for you so that you can make this work. Okay. So in this situation, it looks like this. We're saying starting audiences for, we want to get 4 or 5 of them. So who they are, what they do, 3D, and data-based are the general concepts, right? So we start with who they are, interests, status, relationships, all this stuff. Who they are is going to be stuff like general contractor interests, right? Kitchen, bathroom, remodeling, maybe entrepreneurship. What they do is going to be general contractor job types, job titles. These are behavioral. So these are interest based. These are behavioral. And then what I would do here is just do suggested other contractor based job types, job titles. I think it's job titles, not job type, inside of the actual thing. Now for other stuff, right, outside of contractors, like anything that would require sort of education, you can pick certain universities and colleges, certain education pieces, certain, what do they call, trade schools, that kind of stuff. 3D is a must match combination. So it's something along the lines of general contractor interest plus must match small business owner. So if you're interested in if you have an interest in plumber contractor pages and you're a small business owner, you're likely a person who owns a small business that's a plumber. Then down here, database. So you do, again, customer lookalike or lead lookalike if they have them. And if not, you can always get a scraped list off something like Fiverr. And you can break these up into different and multiples here too. But now you've got starting audiences, you've got a control ad that's super easy to make, and you've got a strategy. And if you've already understood all the rest of this, you can get to this part pretty damn quick. You can make an image that's in Canva, something like this. Actually, we made for this person, so I'll show you this. Something like this inside of Canva. Very simple and easy, right? This is a control ad graphic. We're not trying to get fancy. We're just trying to state the actual person we're working with, state the actual offer right here, and to say click. It goes very hand in hand with specifically just having a control ad so that it's there to do that, right? So having this strategy to test out, now once you get through round 1 and 2, you'll know right audience, right offer. And the offer change here, again, is just changing out this and then changing out what you put on this here because it's just a simple statement, right? And so once you've got that, you can invest more money or resources into building a more interesting funnel. If you want to do that for phase 2, if you have some quality issues, you can do more interesting creatives with fancy images or vertical videos, do some video editing, all that stuff before you move into quality control. But as you're moving through, you're having an easy, frictionless way to test, and then know what to invest, and then know what to invest as you move along for any client. And as long as you have that conversation with them, about the offers, the importance of having an offer that actually works, breaks the attention span from somewhere else they are and allows them to move forward, right? Then a frictionless testing strategy here that allows you to get out there and kick ass and figure out the winners, and then invest and scale from there. You'll be able to easily create winning ad campaigns for any type of client at all. I mean, this exact strategy I've been using for probably 8 plus, maybe 10 years now, for a long, long time. I've been running ads myself for about 12 years for every niche under the sun, millions of dollars in ad spend, along with helping 500 plus GSD students now do the same kind of thing. This is easily the best type of way to get set up for lead gen specific campaigns, and also how to build out different testing strategies even beyond lead gen. So even if I was doing SLO campaigns, I'd be testing offers and stuff on the lead gen side first, and then transitioning it to there. I've seen plenty of students. We've had at least 3 people in the last couple of years I can think of that have made it to $100,000+ a month, and at least one of them doesn't really even know how to run ads. He just knows how to do this. He knows how to copy and paste some shit that we helped them put together and be able to go do that stuff because of the simplicity and effectiveness of having these kinds of strategy and then being able to communicate that to your clients themselves.
Thank you so much for spending the time to watch that amazing training. Like I mentioned previously, my intention is for you not just to watch that training, but if you got something out of it, if you think this information is useful, I want you to continue that journey with us. And you can do that in a couple of ways. One, I want you to smash that subscribe button so that you get notified every single time we put another one of these out, which will be at minimum once to twice per week. The other thing I want you to do is go ahead and click that next video right there beside you so that you can dive in and get shit done. Hope to see you out there.